The Israeli countryside stretches into the distance, a panorama of drought and despair under the relentless sun. Cracked earth and withered crops paint a stark picture of a land devastated by drought. King Ahab sits heavily on his throne, his face a canvas of worry as the drought tightens its grip. Advisors gather, their hushed voices painting a grim picture of rising unrest and despair. Queen Jezebel's voice cuts through the tension. Ignore their petty complaints, Ahab. Remain steadfast in your faith. Baal will provide. Desperation grips the village as people gather around the parched well, their faces mirroring the barren landscape. A woman's sobs cut through the heavy silence as she clutches an empty water jug, a symbol of their dwindling hope. Every cracked surface, an empty vessel, tells a story of drought, loss, and a community teetering on the edge. Elijah walks alone, resolute in his faith, across the desolate desert. The harsh sun beats down on his weathered face as he continues his journey. His rough clothing contrasts against the endless expanse of sand. A multitude gathers on Mount Carmel, a scene of anticipation and challenge. Two altars define the space, one dedicated to Baal, the other to Yahweh. Elijah stands defiantly before the prophets of Baal, ready to test the power of their God. King Ahab is restless, the weight of his crown heavy as he roams his chamber. His steps echo his inner turmoil, torn between devotion to Jezebel and growing dread. The prophets of Baal chant and dance around their altar on Mount Carmel, their movements wild and fervent. They call upon Baal to send fire, their voices rising in a desperate plea that remains unanswered. Hours pass, and their efforts escalate into a frenzy of desperation. Elijah's voice booms across Mount Carmel, his mockery echoing against the ancient stones. He taunts the prophets of Baal, his gestures wild and derisive. The crowd watches, their faces a mix of anticipation and doubt, caught between faith and skepticism. A palpable tension hangs heavy in the air, thick with expectation and uncertainty. Against the fading sunlight of Mount Carmel, Elijah prepares his altar. His commanding voice echoes across the landscape as he gestures to the crowd. He orders the people to drench the altar, challenging the heavens. The altar is soon saturated, water cascading down its sides, reflecting the somber sky. As the sun sets on Mount Carmel, Elijah's voice rises in prayer, resonating with fervent devotion. Suddenly, fire descends, consuming the altar and sacrifice in a divine blaze. A collective gasp sweeps through the crowd as they kneel, overwhelmed by the miraculous display. The crowd, once hushed in awe, now surges with righteous anger, eyes ablaze with newfound conviction. Elijah's voice cuts through the tumult. Seize them. Let none escape. The prophets of Baal are seized, their pleas unheard as they are dragged away to meet their fate. Elijah confronts King Ahab with unwavering conviction. Ahab listens, his face a mask of skepticism and reluctant obedience. Elijah ascends Mount Carmel as twilight descends. At the summit, he prostrates himself in fervent prayer. Go and eat, for I hear the sound of abundant rain. Elijah commands his servant to scan the horizon, a silent vigil maintained on Mount Carmel. The servant returns, his words echoing the barren landscape. There is nothing. Hope flickers as the servant makes his seventh journey, his gaze, finally, catching a sign. A small cloud appears on the horizon, a wisp of promise rising from the sea. Above Mount Carmel, the sky turns an ominous black, heralding a cataclysmic change. The heavens open, unleashing a torrential downpour that floods the parched earth. The drought, a long-standing curse, is broken as the land drinks deeply. Faces turn upward to the stormy heavens, voices rising in joyous praise of Yahweh. The Israeli countryside bursts forth in a vibrant transformation, lush greenery painting the once barren landscape. Rivers carve new paths through the land, their waters reflecting the boundless hope of the people. Crops flourish, nourished by the revitalized earth, a testament to resilience and renewal. Faces light up with gratitude, reflecting the abundance that now graces their lives. King Ahab returns to his palace, his posture reflecting the humility he gained on Mount Carmel. He walks with a heavy heart, each step echoing the weight of his recent defeat. The once vibrant tapestries now appear dull, mirroring King Ahab's somber mood. Elijah, weary and discouraged, flees into the unforgiving desert. The sun beats down, and the sand stretches endlessly, testing his resolve. He wonders if his sacrifices have made any lasting difference. Elijah arrives at Mount Horeb, seeking refuge. He finds shelter in a dark cave, the entrance looming before him. In the mountain's embrace, Elijah awaits divine instruction. Mount Horeb rises majestically, untouched by storm or fire, under the calm, clear sky. A gentle whisper descends, carrying the weight of divine command. The divine voice echoes, "Go, return on your way to the wilderness of Damascus, and when you arrive, you shall anoint Hazael to be king over Syria, and Jehu the son of Nimshi you shall anoint to be king over Israel, and Elisha the son of Shaphat from Abel-Meholah you shall anoint to be prophet in your place." Under the relentless sun, Elijah trudges through the scorching desert. He finds Elisha laboring, plowing a field under the harsh glare. Elijah approaches, casting his cloak around Elisha, a silent summons to a higher calling. Elisha pauses, the weight of destiny settling upon him. Under the scorching sun, Elijah and Elisha traverse the ancient paths of the Israeli countryside. From village to village, they confront the worship of Baal with unwavering courage. Miracles manifest, undeniable testaments to Yahweh's power. Elijah and Elisha approach the river Jordan. Elijah raises his cloak and strikes the water. The river obeys, parting to reveal a dry path. Elijah and Elisha walk together towards the river Jordan. Suddenly, a chariot of fire bursts into view, pulled by fiery horses. Elijah ascends into the heavens within a whirlwind of fire. Elijah's cloak falls to the ground, left for Elisha. Elisha holds Elijah's cloak, fingers lingering on the weathered fabric. He marches back to the riverbank, determination etched on his face. The cloak descends, striking the water with a resounding crash. The river obeys, parting to reveal a path through its depths. In the vast Israeli countryside, Elisha carries forward Elijah's mission, guiding the people back to Yahweh. His actions ignite a renewed faith, a beacon against the shadows of idolatry. The spirit of Elijah endures, a timeless testament to unwavering devotion.